Opinions expressed on AgriTalk do not necessarily reflect the views of Farm Journal Broadcasting, affiliate stations, or sponsors.
All right, welcome back to AgriTalk. I'm Chip Flory, got Davis Michelson with me. And Davis, we are going to head right back out to the Capitol and have a conversation now with Representative Austin Scott from the 8th District of Georgia.
All right.
Congressman Scott, it's good to meet you and good to talk with you.
Hey, glad to be on. I know you had my good friend GT on.
Yeah.
You know, a guy that's fighting for the ag communities, day in and day out up here. Just a good partner for rural America in Washington. And I know he's as frustrated as I am with a lot of the things that are going on up here right now.
Well, Congressman, I tell you what, you're down in Georgia. It's an ag state.
That's
I pay attention to what's going on in Georgia, but I'll admit I don't necessarily pay attention to what's going on specifically in the 8th District of Georgia. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so our commodities are, for the most part, a little different than yours. I mean, we're cotton and peanuts. Obviously, have some cattle. We have a lot of chickens in Georgia. North Georgia has more chickens than we do, but I mean, the American farm family is the American farm family, right? I mean, FFA and 4-H are a great part of our lives, and it doesn't really matter what you're growing. It's just it's a part of who you are, whether you're growing it in Kansas or Georgia, and whether it's corn or cotton. I mean, we all have the same same challenges right now, and that we don't know what the commodity prices are going to yield us. I mean, cotton is below what it costs to grow it right now. Even if you own the land, I'm not sure you can grow it for what for the 68 cents that it was trading at last time I looked. And people aren't giving contracts on peanuts. Peanuts trade by contract, not as most of the commodities go in commodity markets. And I mean, a lot of our friends, I can tell you, our friends are very much feeling the pressure. They have had a couple of bad years because of weather, and then Hurricane Michael came in, and this thing hit Georgia
right
as a Category 3 storm, and it came in through the Gulf. So right, we got what was left over after it hit Florida,
right,
and it wiped out literally pecan orchards and stands of timber. I mean, where there's just literally nothing left.
Right.
And this was October, by the way, and here we are going home for a Memorial Day break and haven't been able to get a disaster bill passed yet.
Congressman, that's why you're here. I understand that I want to talk about this specifically. Your frustration, I saw you in an interview here this morning. Your frustration came through loud and clear when you said we left for Christmas without a disaster bill, we left for Easter without a bill. Now I'm very concerned we're going to leave Washington for Memorial Day without a bill. The House is there. We got to get the Senate on board, right?
Well, we've got to get everybody to the table. The Senate has not passed the bill yet, and a couple of things have happened in the Senate. Now, and it's been on both sides. Senator Shelby from Alabama, he was holding the bill up over the Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund, which had absolutely nothing to do with disaster relief. But he's the chairman of appropriations, and he dropped that after he got called out on it. But his holdup slowed. Momentum matters, and he slowed us down some. The other thing that's happened is the White House never submitted a request for assistance. And then on the Senate, on the House side, there's been give and take. I mean, but the Democrats this week spent so much time trying to find something to do to President Trump, when really, if that time had been spent on something productive, like trying to finish out the negotiations on a disaster bill, we might be going home with a disaster bill.
Right.
So it's knowing the people that are hurting as bad as they do. I mean, for my wife and I mean, we take it very personal.
Yeah. Congressman, And it's been an add-on disaster bill, and it didn't need to be. If we would have acted quickly, Michael
That's
was
right.
how long ago? Hurricane Michael was how long ago?
It was October, and remember, it deals with the hurricanes from earlier. It deals with all of the natural disasters
Yeah.
from 2018. And so the last major disaster was of 18 was Michael, but I think it was Irma that came into North Carolina.
Yeah.
And I know we're talking about ag, but the truth of the matter is, the soldiers at
Yes.
in North Carolina, I mean, their bases got flooded. None of that has been fixed yet. From an Air Force standpoint, Tyndall Air Force Base, the Air Force has used virtually all of their operations and maintenance money for the remainder of the year on Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida, and the Air Force is now actually having to put plans together to shut down flight hours because they haven't gotten a replenishment of their operations and maintenance money because they got no disaster bill. And
Right.
so it's
And then throw on top of that the flooding that we've had in Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri.
That's right.
There's some relief that's needed out there as well.
That's right. And so when we need help in the ag community, it's a 1 or a 2 day story for the non-ag media, and then it's over with. And they've moved on, and they're going to go to the grocery store and they're going to get some food, and they
and not think twice about it.
Yeah, and they're not going to think twice about it. And if you don't think, I don't like being dependent on foreign countries for anything, but I sure don't want to be dependent on them for my food.
Right.
And we're doing a great disservice to national security. We're doing a great disservice to rural America. And where I live in South Georgia, if you're not in agriculture today, you're probably not going to be in it 5 years from now.
Right.
And we just don't have a whole bunch of people waiting to get into farming. And our farmers are having to farm more and more acreage because the margins have become thinner and thinner to spread their cost over. And, when something like this happens, they want to pull back in.
Right.
And so we've got to get something done. It's been one of the most disheartening 6 months of my life watching the indifference from so many members of Congress to the ag communities, and we need help.
Yeah. Okay, Congressman, talk to me about the support from the GOP in the House for the Trump administration right now. Do you feel like maybe it's waning just a little bit because of some of these issues with agriculture?
I don't think so with the membership. I mean, we know who. I've been very clear. I appreciate what it says about the American farm family, but we have a problem in that when he hands that off to someone like Mick Mulvaney, who or Russ Voigt, the current head of OMB, we don't have any support with those people. They as I've said before, they think the American farmer is a subsidy second freeloader is their general belief of the American farmer. And I don't know any farmers that want mailbox money. But when you tear our markets up the way our markets have been torn up with the trade negotiations, tell me how we survive.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how we survive without some type of trade mitigation payment.
Yeah.
And I know
difficult.
They can disrupt markets, but how do you survive if everything out there has a market price that is below the cost of production?
Yep.
and it's just not possible. And so the thing I'll tell you, the Democrats have spent all week trying to find something to go after the president on. Had they spent that time trying to resolve a disaster bill, we would be going home with one.
Right.
And they,
Yep.
But I don't think his nucleus, with the exception of Sonny Perdue, I do think our Secretary of Agriculture understands agriculture and is a good supporter of agriculture. I don't think anybody else in that nucleus around the president understands agriculture or the agricultural economy or environment.
Exactly. Congressman, it was good to talk to you for the first time. Hope to have you back on AgriTalk again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.